Hello and welcome to our Teaching for Success Inclusive series. I'm your host, Rosa Kemirembe. If you are a senior six student or the parent of one, your phone has probably been buzzing. The exam results are out. For some, there is joy, but for others, there has been great disappointment. But mostly, there's that one big question. What next? University, vocational institute, or the job market? But before we get into that, I want to pause. Last year, a student sat for her senior six exams and just got her results. But because she did not perform as well as she had hoped, unfortunately, she took her own life. The pressure became too much. That is a great tragedy. And it's also a wake-up call for students and parents and educators alike. Parents, we have to get the memo. There'll be times when our children do not make the mark. Disappointment is not the end of the world. It is a bend in the road. It is a bend in the road that all of us as human beings will come across throughout our lives. The most successful adults today are not necessarily the ones with the highest grades. Some of them failed, but they found other paths. So parents, stop comparing your children. The neighbor's daughter with all distinctions has her own struggles. And your son or your daughter with lower marks has strength no exam can measure. It's up to you to support your child in finding it and in nurturing it. And to our schools, we need real counseling services, a safe place for students to process disappointment and be given hope after getting their results. We must teach our children that their worth is not in their grades. Their future is not necessarily dependent on their grades. Today, we're talking about what to do at this crossroads, and we're asking, who gets left out? And how do we make sure everyone is included? Let's begin. Before we talk about the paths after senior six, we have to go a step back. The confusion about what next starts long before results day. It starts in senior five, when students are choosing subjects without knowing where they lead, or at the end of their senior four. How many of you took a combination because your friends took it, or because that's what your parents wanted you to take? Or that's what the school offered, or your teachers encouraged you to take? How many dreamed of being an engineer but never took physics because no one told you it was a requirement? The counselor helps you connect the dots. That's the school counselor, between the subjects in your timetable and the career you could have. Do you want to be a doctor? You most likely need chemistry and biology. An architect? You need math and physics. A pilot? A forensic scientist? These are real jobs with real pathways. But if no one tells you the prerequisites, you will never find the door. And here is the inclusion piece. Students with disabilities are often steered away from certain subjects because someone assumes they cannot manage. A trained inclusive counselor would sit with that student and say, "What do you love? Let us find a way to make it work." They would give hope, not limits. Schools, this is a call to action. Employ a trained counselor. And the government, this must be a policy that we must adopt in our schools. Because when a child sits in senior five with the wrong subjects, they're already locked out. By the time they get their results, it might be too late. Now, I want to share something important for every student who's worried that their grades are not good enough. For every parent who's disappointed that their child did not get into university or maybe the university of their first choice. I want us to listen very carefully and look at these 5 people. They're people who have had a great impact in our world today, and not one of them had a university degree. But I'm not telling you that university is not worth it. I am not saying that you shouldn't strive to get to university. I'm saying that not being able to go to the university is not the end of the world, and does not mean that you cannot be a successful adult. First, Sir Richard Branson. He is the founder of the Virgin Group, which controls more than 400 companies worldwide. He was dyslexic and performed poorly in school. His headmaster told him he would either go to prison, yes, or become a millionaire. At 16, yes, 16, he dropped out and started a magazine. Now, for those of you who are 16 who might be thinking, yay, I can drop out of school and become a millionaire. No, he didn't just drop out of school. He took up something that he pursued, okay? He started a magazine. Today, he's worth nearly $4 billion. He argues that life experience can be just as valuable as formal education. The next person is Steve Jobs. He co-founded Apple and changed how the world uses technology. He dropped out of Reed College after just 6 months because his parents could not afford it. He later said that dropping out was one of the best decisions he ever made because it allowed him to follow his curiosity. His company made the iPhone, the iPad, and changed everything in the world today. Third, Bill Gates. He co-founded Microsoft and became one of the richest men in history. He dropped out of Harvard University to focus on building his company. Years later, Harvard gave him an honorary degree, but he never finished that original program. He proves that vision and hard work matter more than just grades and a certificate. Next, we have Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren, he built a global fashion empire worth billions. He dropped out of Barat College in New York after 2 years and joined the army before starting his career. Today, his brand is known worldwide. Lastly, we have David Karp. He created Tumblr, a platform that had over 400 million users. He never even finished high school. He dropped out at 15, was homeschooled, and built one of the most successful internet companies of his generation. These 5 men come from different countries, different backgrounds, but they share one thing. They did not let the absence of a degree define their future. They found their strength, they built skills, they persisted, and you can too. Your child can too. Now, let's look at the most traditional route, which is university. Academically, the biggest shock in university is freedom. In Senior 6, teachers push you. At university, no one pushes you. If you are not disciplined, you will fail. You must manage your own time from day one. Socially and emotionally, it's a massive adjustment. You are stepping into total independence. It can also be a lonely time. My advice? Look for orientation programs, clubs, organizations like FAWE Uganda have modules on academic pressure and mental health. Do not suffer in silence. But here's the inclusion piece. For students with disabilities, university can feel like climbing a mountain. Many universities lack ramps, lecture halls upstairs, no braille for the blind, no sign language. If this is you, do not give up. Look for universities with disability support services. Chambogo University has a strong department. Ask questions before you apply. You deserve to be there, and universities must make room for you. Financially, it is not just tuition. You need accommodation, food, transportation. It all adds up. But be realistic. Look for the government sponsorship or scholarships early. If you did not get 2 principal passes, the door is not shut. Bridging courses like higher education certificate at institutions like Ernest Cook offer a second chance. Now, let's challenge the idea that university is the only pathway. I have spoken to young Ugandans who chose technical and vocational education and training, TVET. Many are doing better than their friends who went into university. Why? Because they have skills, not just academic knowledge. They are creating work, not waiting for office jobs. Academically, TVET is hands-on from week 1. You are not just reading theory. If you are in catering, you're in the kitchen. In welding, you're working with metal. And entry is flexible. Whether you have PLE, UCE, or USCE results, you can apply. Even without formal papers, they can test your prior knowledge. So there is hope. But here's the exclusion piece. Many look down on vocational training. They think it's for failures. Reality check. They call it for those who failed. That is a blatant lie. It keeps brilliant young people from careers that pay well. Also, for students with disabilities, some workshops are not accessible. Benches are too high, tools are not adapted. Ask before you enroll to a TVET. Some institutes like UICT in Kampala have made strides in including students with visual impairment. Seek them out. Financially, this is interesting. While your friends wait 4 years to graduate, you could finish a diploma in 2 years and start earning. Institutions like Bill Brain Institute offer evening and weekend classes, so you can work in the daytime and study in the evening. And programs like Yoga have money set aside for young people with business ideas. So what about jumping straight into the job market? It is an option as well, but with a condition. You cannot sit at home waiting for a job. 5 out of every 10 young people, that is 50% of young people in Uganda, are not in employment, education, or training. To stand out, you need a marketable skill, not just any skill. Don't just join institutions and do whatever course. Look for the ones that are marketable. Videography, programming, digital marketing. I met a young man who finished Senior 4 and did a short course in photography. He started by offering free photos at events to build a portfolio. Today, he has his own studio in Kampala and it's about attitude. He had a good attitude. He is a successful photographer now. Your skills are not just your certificate, count. But here's the reality. The job market does discriminate. Girls are often told that certain jobs are for men. Persons with disabilities are told they cannot cope. If you are from a certain region, doors may close. This is reality. But you cannot control what others do. You can only control what you do. Build skills that are so good they cannot ignore you. Network, volunteer, let people see your work. Stop sitting at home. Go shadow someone in their business. And if you face discrimination, organizations like NUDIPU can offer support. I want to speak directly to the student who is listening right now and thinking, this is not for me. I'm not good at books. I've never been good at exams. Or maybe you have a disability and you've been told your whole life that education is not for people like you. Or you are a girl in a village where everyone says your place is in marriage and not the classroom. Hear me clearly. You are not excluded from success. You are excluded only from a system that was not designed with you in mind. And that system is not the only way. Inclusive education means that every learner, regardless of ability, background, or circumstance, deserves access to meaningful learning and employment. Yes, it means that vocational training can be adapted with lower benches for wheelchair users, with interpreters for deaf students, with flexible schedules for young mothers. It means that if you are not strong in academics, you might be strong with your hands. You might be a brilliant mechanic, a talented tailor, a creative videographer. Those are not less than jobs. Those are valuable. The UNESCO Guide on Inclusion in Tibet tells us that when we remove barriers, when we make education available, accessible, and adaptable, everyone benefits. The goal is not to force everyone into the same mold. University is not for everyone. The goal is to help every person find their strength and build a life from it. So, if you feel excluded today, I want you to know there is a place for you. There is a path for you. You may have to search harder for it. You may have to knock on more doors, but you belong, and your future is not written by your exam results. It is written by your hard work and by your determination. Let me leave you with one piece of advice for each pillar that we've talked about. Notice how inclusion touches everyone. Academically, whatever path be present, learn deeply. Skills like communication and computer skills are non-negotiable. And if you need accommodations to learn, like extra time in exams, ask. It is not cheating. It is leveling the playing field. Socially, choose your friends wisely. You will meet people who will push you to work hard and others who will push you to waste time. Be wise, and here's the inclusion piece. Be the friend who includes others. If you see someone sitting alone, invite them. If you have a classmate with a disability, walk with them. Do not stare at people. Include them. You might be the only safe person that they meet. Emotionally, have a safe person. When the weight feels too heavy, you need someone to talk to. A lecturer, a family member, someone who will listen. And remember, safe people must be accessible. If you are deaf, find someone who can sign. If you're in a remote area, find a community health worker. You are not alone. Financially, not everyone has money. I hear you. Lack of money is not lack of potential. Government programs like the Student Loan Scheme at HESFB offer loans to students with good grades but no funds. You pay back after you graduate. Nothing in life is free. There are also scholarships through districts, churches, and NGOs. You just have to get off your backside and look. You have to hunt for them. Get out of the house. Do not assume that the door is closed. Looking for the right path is work in itself. Consider part-time work. A few hours a week. Don't just sit at home playing video games, watching TV. A few hours a week at a shop or tutoring other kids can make a huge difference. It reduces the burden on your parents and teaches you how to manage money. And it is a chance to network. The person you serve coffee today at a coffee shop could be the one offering you a job tomorrow. Come on, Ugandans, let's stop looking down on jobs. A job is valuable. Every job is valuable. For students with disabilities, organizations like Leonard Cheshire link young persons to internships. Seek them out. Use the internet. Get off TikTok. Do not assume no one will hire you. Make them see your ability. To every S6 leaver, this is your crossroads. But here's the truth. There are no wrong turns, just different journeys. Some of you will thrive at university. Some will build empires with your hands. Some will jump into the market and learn as you go. And some of you, like Richard Branson or Steve Jobs, will find a way that no one expected. The most important thing is to take a breath. Talk to your people. Do your research and take that next step with confidence, not fear. Go beyond your family members. Talk to people. There are people out there who will give you good advice and who want to help. And helping does not mean money all the time. There are many ways you can get help. And remember, education is for everyone. Whether you're a girl or a boy, whether you can see or you can't see, whether you walk with crutches or a wheelchair, whether you're from the city or the deepest village, whether you have money or you're still trying to figure it out, whether you scored high or low, you belong, you matter, and there is a place for you. This is your host, Rosa Kemerembe, from Teaching for Success. Thank you for listening.